And we're live. Thank you all so very much for joining. My name is Joseph. I've got some awesome people with me. We've got Adam from Weekday Weekend, running the Weekday Weekend YouTube channel, and Costas from Ex Machina Engineering and the Ex Machina Engineering YouTube channel. Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself in case we have any new viewers, and we'll go from there.
All right. Hey, well, hi, everyone in the chat. If you want to drop where you're from, I'm coming at you from Michigan. So I'm a 28-year-old 3D printing hobbyist. I run a variety YouTube channel called Weekday Weekend, doing things like CAD, 3D printing, all that kind of stuff, a little bit of gaming. I'm self-taught. I started learning CAD about 3 years ago. I started on another CAD package and moved to ALIBRE because of the price to performance and the perpetual license. Probably best known for my yet another modular storage system on printables, as shouted out by a couple other YouTube channels. And of course, my free CAD practice website, weekdayweekend.net/workshop, where you can practice CAD for free and hopefully get on a leaderboard.
I'm going to be making a YouTube video with some of those practice things coming up. I have it recorded, got to get it through the editing process, but it is an excellent weekdayweekend.net. Check out those practice parts. They're really good for all skill levels. And then we've got Costas. Tell us about your magnificent YouTube channel. Oh, and we might be occupied here. So Costas runs this amazing YouTube channel called Ex Machina Engineering, and he's got all kinds of tips and tricks for things that I don't think anybody would ever think of. Floating square methods to be able to 3D print things if it doesn't fit on your print bed. All kinds of tricks with screw threads. I mean, think of it, you name it. So we have some questions on the board here. Maybe we can get to some of those.
I think our first one right at the very top. Yeah.
Yeah, when selecting surfaces for assembly constraints, is there a way to drill through geometry that is in the way of the surface you are trying to select? Love that one, and maybe I can turn off my phone if you heard that, and also share my screen, unless you've got a good one, Adam. Either way.
Nope, you are the surfacing king, so.
Well, here we go. Pulling up a model here. So I'll pull up a model of a simple engine. And I think with all my streaming on my machine, it's running a bit slower for the first startup here. Well, anybody heard any good jokes lately? The one I told in the last stream wasn't quite as funny as I'd hoped.
Oh man.
I can give you I don't know if it's family friendly, but I can give you a machinist joke.
Absolutely.
So a machinist walks by a hole and he says, "I tap that."
I have jokes, but that's fine. That's fine. The ones I have are not
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Yeah,
So
it's
they're not
borderline,
brand
right?
appropriate, we'll say.
Well, while this loads here, I think I want to ask the chat. I saw Sweden, which is an interesting spot. Anyone else from
Yeah.
anywhere cool?
I mean, man over
Oh,
here.
I'm here from Crete, Greece. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I take that for granted.
You should. As well, you should.
Crete is awesome. Okay, I finally got this up here. So enough stalling on my end, right? If I start building constraints on this, and of course I just go click the wrong edge. So if I start adding some constraints where I click some simple things and I go to position something, there we go. And then let's pretend that when I move this crankshaft in place, I've got some conflicting surfaces. One thing that I can do is when I select a surface, and if this is blocking me from selecting this surface, I know it's not, but we're pretending it is. I can right click and hide, and that stays selected so that I can still apply that constraint. And then when I'm done, I can simply unhide and get that constraint. So that's kind of my go-to way of getting around when something's in the way. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me know in the chat. I don't know if you guys have any other approaches as well.
No, I think that might cover it. Let us know if that helps you, if that answers your question.
No, yeah, because this is such a common, ubiquitous thing, right? Sometimes things just get in the way of other things in an assembly. So,
yeah.
And can I also just say the trick that I use to select behind, right? So actually, which is just simply just showing, changing the view to with hidden edges, right? Shaded with hidden edges. That also works in assemblies, but if it's very, very complicated, that makes the assembly, really, really, it makes it a bit hard to see, right?
Yeah.
But if you've got an assembly that's got, a few parts and they're large parts and whatnot, and you just want to select an edge for a fillet or whatever, you can just change the view to shaded and all edges. That's the terminology. And you can even use that to select through in assemblies. So that's a cool trick.
That's awesome. Yes. I just noticed we've got Michael Berglund, 25 years with the Libre.
Yep.
That is amazing.
I saw that.
Really cool to have a partner with us on here. Maybe you can help us answer some questions too. But thanks for joining, Michael.
Let's see, we got Switzerland, Minnesota, North Carolina. Sweet.
All right. Any other questions or things that we can address?
Yes. I think if I can just hijack this. So that's a very interesting question, right?
Yeah.
And I'd love to answer that if you would allow me.
Let's do
So
it.
the question is, what's the most efficient way to create a rectangle with equidistant side edges from a center point in a sketch, right? So, well, first of all, if you've got a sketch, you can definitely use the center rectangle, which will, by definition, do what you want, right? If the corners are equidistant and it's a rectangle, the sides are also equidistance. But that's a great little, there's another way, and it's a great little tip. It's to use the midpoint constraint. That's that one up there. I mean, you can use it instead of using it to define a point as being the midpoint of a line or an edge or whatever. You can actually use it with 3 points. And the way that it works is the first two you select, you can see you've got a little prompt down here, right? You've got the prompt down here. And guys, when you're working, always take a look at the prompt on the bottom left corner. There's some great useful information there, whether you're dimensioning or using any tools in ALIBRE. So it says select the first point or align it. But look at that. If I select 2 points, now I have defined a linear segment, right? And then if I click on a third point, what happens is ALIBRE internally calculates the perpendicular bisector to that linear segment. We're getting a bit technical here, but it calculates the perpendicular bisector to that linear segment and makes sure that the point I selected is on there. So you see now that I can move these points and they stay sort of symmetrical to that point. Now, if I also do that for these side points, sorry, I hadn't selected it. Okay, let's go again. What I have now is the center rectangle, right? And I've got sides that are equidistant from that middle point. So I know that ALIBRE Atom, for example, which is the budget option of ALIBRE, it's less than $300. ALIBRE Atom does not have rectangle by center, but that's how you recreate it in ALIBRE Atom. You do a normal rectangle, and then you go midpoint constraint, and then you go again midpoint constraint. There you go. Center rectangle. I hope that helped. That's a really nice trick.
That is a good one. And symmetric works, but I'm really liking the midpoint thing that you're showing. This is awesome.
Oh yeah. It's got more potential, right? Because it depends on 2 points, so it doesn't need to be. It doesn't even need to be symmetric with an existing line or whatever. It's just a single point in the middle of 2 other points. It's more versatile, is what it is.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a question here. Is the stream every week? Looks like it was answered, and it's true every other week. So we'll be on here. We strive for the same time at the same place. So be sure to catch us. I've got someone here from Minnesota. I got to say, I've got family in Minnesota. They got a house in Minnesota, another house in Florida. They like extreme temperature changes. And when my cousin was very young and they're moving to Minneapolis, he said, well, we're moving to a place with very small things. They have mini apples and mini sodas. So I just had to share that came up. I'm seeing some.
So is that, by the way, the same machinist that we were talking about earlier? No. Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
I like this one. When should you use anchor part and when should you not use it?
Do you want to take that, Joseph, Adam, or should I?
You can grab it, however Joseph can.
Yeah, we're on your screen. Let's do it.
Oh.
Okay. So when you should use anchor part and when you should not use it. So the idea is this. Basically, and I've got a token assembly here. Again, don't tell anybody you saw this, right? This is between me and you guys, right? But
live stream exclusive.
Live stream exclusive. So don't tell anybody you saw this assembly. But the idea is that when you have a part that you know is going to be stationary, right? And it's one of the initial parts of your assembly, and it's a very basic part. Then it's a good idea, and generally speaking, you can use anchor part on it, right? On the other hand, you should know that anchor part, and that's basically what I want to say, right, and what I want to bring your attention to. You should know that anchor part is evaluated alongside the assembly constraints. So if you've got an assembly that's got some motion in it, right, and you need to check that motion, and you need to, account for it, and maybe even get some measurements off of it and all that, it does pay to constrain your parts, because that will create fewer constraint, collisions, restrictions, errors down the line, right? So my working advice, what I've found working with ALIBRE, is if it's one of your very first parts and you're completely sure that it's never going to move and it's never going to have any kinematic, properties, yeah, you should use anchor part on it. But if you can take the time and constrain it properly, it's slightly better, right? So I hope that helps. And if you guys have some more input, please go ahead.
Only thing I can think of is that depending on what you're doing, it might even just be better to take the extra 2 seconds and constrain it by aligning all the same planes. Might also be just a little bit more robust.
Yep, if you have to rotate your part, then you can change which planes are aligned with which, and so you can get a nice rotation that way.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll jump to my screen real quick. Just on that note, we'll go to Insert Design, and I'm just going to insert a random part here. Now, if I hover over my origin, you can see that I got that little red dot symbol there. That means that all the planes are going to be aligned. All the planes are going to be aligned, and that is a quick and easy way to make sure that you have the same geometry as when you modeled the part. So if I right-click and I show reference geometry, right, these orange planes are the planes that I used to model the part, and we were lined right up on that origin, just the same way that the part was modeled. So if you need to do mirrors in the future off of your initial part, right, that's a great way to make sure that your planes are aligned around the origin to do mirrors properly. And then if we just anchor the part, we know that it's anchored around those planes. But as we said, it's a lot more preferable to align it other ways, because it opens the door to simply change things if you need to. Hopefully that was a helpful addition.
There's 2 little things. Firstly, I think we got IQ Workshop. I think we got Steve here to be able to join us here. Also, Joseph, right quick, see if you can check your mic. I think it might be using your webcam mic.
Oh, thank you. It probably is.
Hey.
Right quick, while he's working that out. While he's working that out, yes, we got everybody here. Just a quick reminder, we're going to try our best to get to everybody's questions, but some questions take longer than others to answer. So be sure to check the forum if we don't get to you. We're going to try our best to get to everybody, but if we can't, check the forum. It really is a pleasurable experience over there. Everyone's really trying to help you. You're not going to find anyone calling you an idiot or saying just get good or anything like that. Everyone on the ALIBRE forum is really good. So
I'm so lucky that we have such a good crowd there too. It makes moderating a lot easier.
Right.
I'm telling you guys, at this point, the ALIBRE forum is one of the best features for ALIBRE for me, right? And it helped me immensely when I was starting with ALIBRE, and I had a lot of experience doing CAD before, and it still helped me. So,
hi, Steve.
Sorry, finding the mute button. Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Are we having fun?
We're having a great time, but we missed you, Steve. I mean, we needed someone with a high IQ here.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're looking in. Right.
Oh, man.
Hang on. I best not take my glasses off, otherwise people might recognize me as some sort of superhero the day I'm having right now. It's just so apologies for my tardiness.
Yes, well, we're hoping to make your day a lot better. Go to IQ Workshop, give Steve a bunch of likes on his videos, and he'll have a better day because of you.
So go ahead, make his day.
This is a pretty interesting one. I designed a turnbuckle and constrained it in an assembly. It will turn, but it won't thread. What am I doing wrong? And the answer, I think, is possibly nothing. I can take this on my screen here. So here I've got a lifting jack, and as I twist, it lowers and raises, and that is due to a mate that we would have, like a mechanical mate or a screw mate. So it twists as I move things. And this is available in Expert, I'm pretty sure, not just Professional. So if you don't see that mate, that could be the issue. Let's see if I can hurry and replicate this mate here. I'll show in Explorer and go to my constraints, right? So here's a screw mate that I'll suppress. And by the way, if you ever need things to thread properly, right, if you're very particular, you can suppress the mate, and then you can adjust it to where it's going to fit properly, right, the right amount of turn and everything, and then you can unsuppress it, and it'll be right on track. I do that with gears a lot. If my gear teeth aren't aligned right, doesn't make a bit of difference, but it's much nicer to look at. So,
see, I would leave that sort of stuff in so that the gears didn't mesh properly, just to trigger people on purpose. That's
So I do that as well. I do that as well, Joseph.
There's some fun with that too.
I do that as well, and I thought,
Costas, I think you're muted.
No, I can hear Costas.
Oh, I can't hear.
Well, I am.
Really,
no,
I can't
I'm
hear
not muted
Costas either.
Well,
let's make sure you have director's voice on here.
Anyway, so I just wanted to say, if you can hear me or not, that I also do that.
I don't know. You in the chat, can you folks hear Costas? Let us know.
Can anybody hear me? Am I a voice?
You might have to refresh your browser. I've had that happen before.
Let me do that right now.
See, let me refresh mine right quick.
There we go. Go back to director's voice here.
And then there was 2.
There was 3. Can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah, I could hear you all along.
Okay.
And now we've got 5 bubbles.
Greece is not that far from that way. I might have been able to hear you if I done that.
That's the thing. Right? That's the thing. You know, England can hear me because it's closer. So maybe I should start yelling. What do you think? Maybe that would
big megaphone.
Definitely do it. That would yeah.
Yeah, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, well, audio.
So to apply a screw mate, right, we'll go to add a constraint. I click on the mechanical tab right there, which is available in some versions and not others. And we choose the 2 geometries. And I actually think I need to choose an edge here. I have not done a screw mate in so long. And then we...
So this is good because we're all getting refreshers too. So
yeah, I need a refresher here because my screw's grayed out. All right. What am I doing?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has to refer back to one of my own videos to figure out how I did something.
Oh my gosh, yes. I do my own videos all the time.
There is a fantastic Basics of Assemblies video on the official ALIBRE channel, by the way.
Yeah, apparently watch my videos, not me live. That's way better.
Yeah. Well, I think
Okay.
we can safely say that Joseph has forgotten more things about ALIBRE than we will ever learn, and it's official. So,
I guess so.
so there you go.
I'm going to wrestle with this. Do we want to move on to the next question, and I'll get a
Okay,
really
right
good.
let's see. We've done that. We've done that. Okay, Kostas, this might be one for you here. You've done a lot with importing and exporting.
Yep,
This
go ahead.
guy's asking about. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Don't know if you all have any experience with SVG or DXF importing, having trouble
Of
exporting a
course.
file that imports easily.
So yeah, sure. Let me find the file that I used for my latest video, actually.
It says
So-
exporting from Illustrator, but if there's a better program or format that easily imports, you'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. So I haven't been using Illustrator. I've never used Illustrator. What I use is Inkscape, right? It's a sort of open source alternative for it. It also works in Linux. It's amazingly powerful. You know, the more I use it, the more stuff I found out about it. It's a great piece of software, right? And I've got it up on screen now. And so in my last video, I did my homework, which you guys have yet to grade, actually, right? You should grade. I'm still waiting for the grade report on my homework. So for that homework, I needed to get some female hair on a dummy, right? Don't ask why. Go and watch the previous live stream. Too long a story. Steve's laughing. Don't laugh, man. This is serious stuff. It's homework. It's homework. Homework's serious stuff.
It can be fun.
Yeah, it can be fun. Yeah, sure. So if you guys can give me, can show my screen, I will. I'm not entirely sure how to change to my screen.
There we go. Got to fix the scene a little bit here.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No problem.
I don't have. Oh, you know why? Because I refreshed the server and I don't have the screen share anymore. There you go.
Right.
Sorry, Joseph, for yeah.
All right, who's going to bring up tacos in the chat?
We had tacos last week, or tacos two streams ago, and then pineapple pizza last time. How about coney dogs this time? Let's do chili cheese dogs this time.
Okay. So yeah. So just get back on track, right? So this is Inkscape. I have already kind of edited this a bit, and it's a single outline here. So this can export SVG, right? You can see down here. If you want to import into ALIBRE, you select the file down here. Select plain SVG, right? And you can select the folder, right? And yeah, that's the one. Let's save it. Yeah, I replace because I already had it. Okay. So what you do then is you open a part in ALIBRE, and you can import that SVG. The thing is, you need to open up a sketch and then import the SVG. Maybe you already know that. So we go into our part and we start the sketch. And now I can right click and I've got the import SVG option down here. And I will go to the folder that I saved it at, which is this one. And I get this menu. Let's click OK for now. It takes a while because it's a bit of a file. That particular one, it had too many corners, but it will eventually come in, and it will come in as a sketch. And it's worth noting that, oh, come on, where is it?
Highlight it in your
Oh, there
view.
you go. Yeah. No. It's sketch is turned off, and I accidentally closed the sketch. So what you should know here is it comes in as a completely undimensioned and unconstrained sketch, right? So this is not fully defined in any way, right? But if you did the work correctly and there's a single line in there and nothing is overlapping and you don't have double, geometry and all that, you should be able to extrude it straight off of the sketch, right? So there you go. That
Yeah,
is
I
an
think it's.
SVG.
Go on, Costas. Keep going.
So yeah, no, I just want to say that this is the workflow to get an SVG into 3D.
So I was just going to compliment what you were saying in that various different applications deal with vector files. Even though an SVG has a particular standard, a DXF has a particular standard. Every application, whether it's Adobe, whether it's Corel, whether it's Inkscape, they all handle vectors and points very, very differently. And Inkscape, I have found, as you pointed out, being very reliable as
Yeah.
an intermediary sort of application. If you're having trouble with a file, it'll load it up, and if you resave it with DXFs or SVGs, you very often find the resulting format that Inkscape outputs is more universally accepted.
Yes,
The
yes, that's true.
I mean, I'm using my laser cutter is using a very old piece of software. I think it's LaserCut 3.3. And anything I output from, I mean, the software looks like it's out of 1995. But if I try to export anything from Illustrator or anything like that, it hardly ever comes into that software with any degree of accuracy, and there's spurious lines, there's sort of all sorts of noise. I just load that into Inkscape, save it as a very early DXF format, like pre 2000 pre R12, I think it is on there, and it just loads up into the software fine. So Inkscape is really good as a translating application in the middle.
That's yeah. It actually has gotten me out of a tight spot on more than one occasion. So I have the exact same experience as Steve with Inkscape, and we also have another question. On that's like a follow up to this one. What about scaling an unconstrained important SVG file? I would not advise trying to scale a sketch, right? Unless you are very well versed in how to dimension and constrain a sketch so that you have it scaling automatically, parametrically as it were, based on a couple of its dimensions, right? What you can and should do with DXFs, and actually this particular file, if you watch my latest video, I do that. I've got that in fast forward, but you can see the workflow. This is too small. I couldn't use this because this was too small, right? So what you do is you get a 3D file. You get a 3D shape out of it, and then you scale that, and you do that through here, right? This is the menu. So let's do a, I don't know, like scale factor 3, for example. Okay. Uniform scale. Now, if you don't need that 3D file, right? You just want a sketch, to do something else, and you definitely don't want this 3D shape in there. You can go into Surface, which is available, I think, only in Professional and Expert. If I'm wrong, correct me there. And you can convert solid to surface, right? And then you can delete delete this surface, right? No, wait. Oh man, I tried to be Joseph and it failed.
You're doing
So
great.
maybe delete all of the faces? I don't know. There's quite a few of them in there. Right? Delete face. Maybe that'll work. Yeah. That'll take 15 minutes. Oh, come on. Go ALIBRE. So now, and this is parametric, I can go back because I forgot to do what I wanted to do. So now I can start a sketch, right? I can project the scaled surface, right? And that is going to take a while because there are like thousands upon thousands of little points in that one. Yeah, there you go. I exit out of the sketch, and now I will go and delete face. So now I've got the scaled sketch, and I don't have any other 3D geometry messing up, my design anywhere else and whatnot. But that's the way you should do it. You should not be trying to scale, the SVG or the sketch right off the bat.
If you've got a super simple import, which probably doesn't apply to anything, but if it's a circle or a square, you could probably go in the sketch and do offset entities to save some time. But
yep, that's also
you'll get big distortion as your shape grows even moderately complex. So that's a very limited scale where that would work. And this is a great solution.
Yeah. And if I can just answer another questions to Tim. Yes, Tim, I've got my own YouTube channel, which is called Ex Machina Engineering. I mean, who would have thought? That's a very, very innovative and imaginative name, I know. But that's what I called it. So I've got a YouTube channel called Ex Machina Engineering. You can find all of the videos I'm referencing in there, and a lot more.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got one possibly for.
There you go, Adam to the rescue.
Right. I've got really quick one for Joseph here. Where can I see more of that Steam logo design that shows up in the intro?
Oh, that's a good question. That was part of our ALIBRE design contest, and I don't know if we have the rights to distribute that, but it's a really cool one.
You can probably see at least some more information about it on the ALIBRE website, though. It is,
yeah,
and you can also find a ton about that model. A ton of pictures, I mean, of that model and detail in the gallery section of the forum.
Yep.
So,
and it's it's got some great renders, some great pictures. It's an amazing model, by the way. I'm not sure who made it. I think I know, but I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to get it wrong. But this thing is designed down to the very nuts and bolts, right? It's an amazing model.
And the fact that it's on the forum means that if you wanted to ask questions about it, you very well could.
And and the guy who made it is very active in the forum. So
there you go.
And I figured this out, guys. The faces that I was clicking were going to be a potential over constraint on the assembly. So that was all that was. So, yep, we click a face, we click another round face, and then with our threads are selected and we can establish a pitch. So just a real minor thing. And I put a really, really coarse pitch in there so that it would be obvious. I'll go ahead and close my dialog and unsuppress that mate. So now when I turn it, there's a lot of movement because I just made a screw mate with a different pitch. So that's how you would do it for a turnbuckle. Let me know in the comments if that helps. Sorry for the delay on getting to that question.
Adam,
yes,
can we grab the question at it's 5:26 for me. It was literally the one before you selected about the loco, the Steam loco design. I'm not sure whether or not that one would get into the forum.
This one.
Yeah, so if you glued a metal rod into a 3D printed PLA part and later you realized you need to remove it, how are you going to do that? So it all depends upon what adhesive you have used on this part. If you have used CA glue or super glue, one thing you can do is use acetone, soak it with acetone, and that will dissolve the CA glue, and allowing you to remove that. Just be careful in using acetone around your 3D prints, depending on the material. It's okay in this case because it's PLA, but if you're printing anything in ABS or anything like that, you need to keep acetone well away from your prints because it will melt it.
Also, using a well-ventilated area.
100%. Acetone is flammable, so you need to keep that in mind. All your hazardous material. Read the label, right? This is not safety
definitely.
advice.
A lot of hot glue or super glue can also be removed with isopropyl alcohol as well, depending on what you got on hand. So
I just thought it'd be good to cherry pick that one out. I'm not sure if that would be relevant in the forum or not. So, cool.
This is a really quick one. Every once in a while, when I'm using network drive stuff, I will get an error, and not just with ALIBRE, but a lot of stuff. A really quick workaround for me has been to use my desktop as kind of a intermediary spot to save things. So if you save something to your desktop or copy and paste something to your desktop from your network drive and then load it in, or save something from ALIBRE to your desktop and then cut and paste it to your network drive, a lot of times that'll fix an issue. I've had not just with ALIBRE, but with a lot of other softwares not liking things from network drives, because I completely get not being able to open a command prompt on a work PC. You might also talk with your IT guys and ask if they can take a look at your OS, maybe run that for you. Maybe if you tell them your PC's running a little shaky, maybe they'll be willing to run that for you.
Absolutely. I'm going to see if I can get that locomotive on my screen here, just so we can view it at least.
And while you do that, can I just answer this question here by Silvio Z? Can ALIBRE handle mesh? It doesn't quite work like that. Just show mesh in the background to help for design or what. It doesn't work exactly like that. But we have covered STL import quite a bit in previous live streams. And you can find a ton of resources in the forum. Basically, what you do is you can import the STL. There are applications, and there's a great plugin by Bolsover, David. Bolsover is his forum name, his forum handle. And he's made an absolutely epic add-on, right? Which first converts the STL into a step file and then imports it into ALIBRE. And then what you have is you have a solid that is based on that STL. Now, of course, if you have any round surfaces or edges or whatnot, STL will lose a bit of information there, right? It will interpolate it with straight lines. But you can do what I just did earlier, like literally 5 minutes ago in this stream, and you can, after you've imported it, you can convert it into a surface, and then you can use it the way you want. Then you can use it just as a guide, project off of it, do whatever you need, and then delete it completely when you're done. So it doesn't import mesh as a background to help design, as it were, but there is this workflow you can do. Import the STL with the tools that are available that we've shown quite a few times. Turn it into a surface and then use it the way you want. And you can also, just for the record, you can also import an image. That is actually supported natively in ALIBRE. You can import an image, scale it, right, to the correct dimensions, and then use it to draw over and use that as a help in the background. So yeah, those two options for that particular workflow.
That's a good one. What exactly do you select for the thread constraint? I'm locked up opening this locomotive engine right now, but you select two circular faces. It didn't work initially for me because I happened to select two that would have over-defined the assembly, and I didn't realize it. But yep, two circular faces. Then you say a pitch, and as one twists, it just applies the pitch, the linear distance as the other one twists. So
a good way to think about that one is you select the circular surface that you want to be your thread and the circular surface that you want to be your nut, even if they're not actually thready or whatever, right? So that's how I think about it when I'm using that.
I don't know if this is a follow-up for you, Steve. Does the acetone penetrate through a 0.1 millimeter glue filled gap?
Yeah, yes. I did answer that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So the answer to that is, yeah, it probably will, but it'll need some time, right? So you can soak it, and again, as long as the materials that you're soaking in there, with the exception of the glue, is inert or is not reactive to acetone, then you're good to leave it in there and soak. And it will get there, but it just may take some time.
And then quick follow-up for that other question.
There you go.
This is our locomotive. Maybe I should hide that so we can actually see above it. But yeah, really, really complex, right? Really amazing work. And this is still not fully open yet, so I'm going to be able to rotate my screen again in just a second. But
I feel so inadequate
the
right now.
Complexity here of the gears,
amazing.
The fasteners.
It's got the little tiny tubes for the steam, for all of the operating handles. It's amazing. It's an amazing model, actually.
There's all my screen rotations catching up to me. Still in process of opening this part. There's so much going on here, which is pretty common in any platform of this scale. But the detail is so amazing here.
That's twice in one stream. ALIBRE's impressed me now.
So yeah, that's a good point. We'll check the showcase and see if we can add this in, because what an interesting part. It's just so realistic.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I cannot begin to imagine the time that it took to do all of that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not like, oh, I'll get the shape right and that's it. This is, they actually designed it. So, yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's so realistic that it's one of those things where you look at it and you think, oh, they made it look easy. But it's so not easy.
Yeah. That's a problem. Yeah. But, you can, it's like, okay, so I'll tell you guys a pet peeve of mine with CAD, right? I know you all want to listen to it. You all want to know about it, my pet peeves. But still, I'm going to tell you, which is, I see someone saying, I'll make this video. I designed a Formula 1 car in SolidWorks. No, mate, you didn't. You didn't. The Formula 1 car is like 85,000 different components. You did not design it in SolidWorks, right? You just made something that, has the general shape of it. But, let's be honest, you didn't. And this one is the exact opposite. Right, this model. So yeah.
Now I think it might be time to fill my promise and maybe talk a little bit about Relief Maker. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick
real quick while he's getting that set up. Sorry, there's one other question I think we didn't get to. I think Costas briefly might have answered your question, actually, solving our previous question. Two different mirror options, one of them being just mirror and the other being a scale mirror, and it's right in the name. The other one, the scale and mirror, is designed to scale.
Yeah.
So I think he briefly touched on that. But, cool.
Perfect. Yes, I'm still recovering from that big train file, but that's something that might be good to demonstrate too. In the meantime, I've got Relief Maker, right? What is Relief Maker? This is something that we have, but it's not part of ALIBRE. It's a completely separate product. And if I stick this over the chat, this is why I'm bringing this up here. Someone in the forums, Step ALIBRE, who is really, really, really smart, says that we're killing it with the live streams. What about Relief Maker? So I wanted to address that here. Base reliefs are those things that you have, like if you think about ancient sculptures, sometimes they'll have an image that just kind of sticks out of a plane, but isn't the full 3D model, right? And when do we use base reliefs? We would use it for things like woodworking. So a friend of mine that I used to work with in medical had a CNC machine and would make artistic base reliefs like this and sell them. Really, he made a lot of money. So that's one thing. In woodworking, we may want to add a lot of detail and make these products with these images that kind of stick out of a plane. Another thing is coin making, right? Think about all the faces and things on coins. Base reliefs are really important to be able to do that. How you would model that in any CAD could be really challenging, but it becomes really simple when you have a dedicated software that makes these kinds of reliefs. Jewelry is another one. If you need to make rings or necklaces or things like that, you can certainly do it. And then, in general art and sculptures as well, these kinds of base reliefs play a big role. Yeah. So how do we make base reliefs, and what does Relief Maker look like? I'll open it up here. So this is Relief Maker 2.0, right? It's the newer version. And we actually make base reliefs off of 3D models. You can find these 3D models on Thingiverse or in the public domain. You can get a lot of them for free. So we're going to add an asset from a file. And I think I'm going to go with this Brahms guy. I don't know exactly who he is, but he looks very statue worthy. So we have this STL or OBJ mesh file. And when I create a base relief, I simply click on Generate Relief. So I've got it at an angle that I like, and it makes a base relief of this guy as easy as that. Now, thank you for moving those. Now we have some fine tuning that we can do. We can say, oh, right now our maximum angle between everything, but it's most obvious coming out of this plane, is 80 degrees. So if I were to CNC this, it's pretty much guaranteed to work because there are no overhangs, and I can control the angles between everything. So I can use the tooling that I want and know that it will work. Likewise with 3D printing. If I change my angle to 45 and I need to print this in the vertical orientation, we can regenerate this relief at 45 degrees, and we can see that there are no overhangs that exceed 45 degrees. We can print this in the vertical with no supports. So we can fine tune with our different angle options, but we also can scale our height. So if I say something like 10%, we want this to be a lot lower, and we look at this from the side, and I generate my relief, it gets a lot lower. So this is almost like coin territory here. Let me pull up another example. Right? If I open up a new file and I add a dragon, right? This dragon has certain details that I care about. Let's say that I care a lot about the scales, and I'd make a 30-degree max angle, and I scale this to something like 10, and I want this to be very flat. And as I generate this relief, well, it's pretty good, but maybe I want more detail with the scales, or I want to emphasize certain things, right? If I go back to my view, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. The first one is I can say, I want to emphasize contours. And when I emphasize contours, you can see that there are some pink lines around my model. This is what my graphics card has found to be sharp contours that will be emphasized. So if I look at this ear right here, and I generate a relief, there it is. We can see that that ear is highlighted with a sharp contour now. You can see a lot of sharper lines, and I can exaggerate that If I turn this up all the way to 5, you can see just how much we emphasize those angles. So we can customize our relief in that way. We can also change the angle that these contours apply if we would like. But on to my favorite thing, it's not showing the scales very sharply. Let's say that I do want to have a really small offset like this, but I want the scales to show more. This is a really advanced kind of mind-bending feature. But if I draw a line from one corner here to the corner down there, then I can say, what would be a large feature? And I'm going to say anything larger than 2% of the length from corner to corner. And so that would encompass like all of the scales as small features, and then the big features like the head, the whole body, big stuff is large. And so I can change what I specify as being large or small by changing the number in my large feature size. But let's say that I want to scale, my height scale should be something more like 30%, but everything large is going to be scaled at 20%. Well, then our scales are small, and so they'll be emphasized more, right? And so when I generate my relief, I can make some custom alterations like this, and my scales show up a little bit more. Can you see that? Now we can monkey around with a lot of these settings to get some really fine-tuned base reliefs in ways that you just won't find with any other software. Here, when I go to my height scale, if I give this a 60 and I generate my relief, we can see that the scales and things will show up even more. So I can play with settings like my contours and my small feature versus large feature scales, and things show up a lot more. I'll give this something really crazy just to overemphasize what's going on here. So we scale this 300% for small things. You can see how much more it shows up.
Yeah.
We can add a blur, and it just makes things, it actually makes the solid look blurry. I don't know how they accomplish this, but here comes a blurry dragon. Isn't that wild? Yeah,
Cool,
it's
man,
kind of
actually.
anti-me because I love my sharp images, but it is cool when you want to apply a blur. We have a bevel
Cool.
effect. So let's make a baseline here. This is without a bevel effect. And you see I can adjust the lighting with my right mouse button, by the way, but we can make a bevel where it kind of stands out of the plane. So if I put a large bevel on there, we're going to see our dragon come out of the plane a lot more. Just like that, you can tell everything is beveled a little bit more. So lots of custom looks to get from just one single model. We can also adjust our focal length on the camera. So this is a 21 millimeter focal length that I'm generating now. You can see there's a little bit of a change there because our camera changed focus.
That is so
and then
cool.
you can change our output resolution. I do like my higher resolution. I'll go 4,000 by 4,000. And then, of course, we can crop it into an oval shape if we prefer that. So these are things that we can export to a CNC machine, a 3D printer, something like that, and get really professional base reliefs, whether you're making coins, jewelry, wood decorations, or even Han Solo, right? He kind of turned into a base relief. So
I think this is a fantastic example of a software that does basically one thing, but does it really, really well.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
have lots of features, but you don't have so many features that you're like, okay, how the heck do I use this thing? It looks like one of those softwares you can download it, install it, have a goal in mind, and get there with, very little overhead of trying to learn what you're doing. So this is great.
And what
I think
output
my
formats?
live stream is taking up my system resources here, so you have to bear with me a moment. But
I do have a
there we
question
go.
about it. Is the only source that you can import 3D models?
I think it will take height maps as well, and that's also what it exports to. So great question. I should probably get into that as well. Do we have a guest? I don't think so. Yes, it's the only source 3D model. So It will take STL and OBJ, and I think that's primarily what you want to do. But you also can do certain height maps, and it will read a height map, which let's export this to a height map while we're at it. I'm going to generate a non-oval base relief here.
Yeah, that's why it ate up all those resources, because you made it do an oval actually.
Oh,
and then really
ovals are heavy, man.
And high speed.
Yes.
And the focal length is a few thousand kilometers.
Yeah. Yes, I may need to adjust that focal length, but this is what a height map looks like when we export it. So you export it as a PNG file, and what it is black is like 0, and then the closer to white it becomes, the higher the height of it. And so you can make a PNG actually start sticking out like a 3D model based on the color. So those are the inputs, and the outputs, of course, are you can create these height maps, and you also can export it as a mesh file, STL, OBJ, things like that. And then your machine can cut out that really cool base relief you've made. Now we've covered raised so far. Let me just, I don't want to go through my settings again and clean everything up, so I'm just going to re-import my Dragon. So at default settings, right, I can create a base relief as just sort of a base model, but there's some other features as well, such as I can do a recessed base relief, right? So instead of raising it out of the plane, it can be recessed in. We'll take a look at that.
So cool.
And it's a little bit more vague. Let me up the height scale just a little bit, actually a lot, just to exaggerate what's going on here. And so there's a good recessed relief. There's a slightly different thing that can be done. We can invert a raised relief also to get something that's inward. And you'll see it changes a little bit, right? So you can have multiple options for recessed and raised. One of my favorites is an unconstrained relief.
That's great for a kid's toy, right?
Oh, yeah.
For Play-Doh, you make a custom form for it for Play-Doh, or for cookies. You can make dragon cookies with this.
Oh, great! Now I'm hungry again. We're back to chocolate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joseph.
I'm just always hungry. What can I say? But unconstrained is really cool. This is not the best model to show off with it, but as you can tell, we're going into the plane and also out of the plane in both directions. And I think 95% of what people are going to do are raised, but unconstrained is really cool as well. And then raw geometry, another interesting one. It's not actually a base relief. Raw geometry, and let's not invert it so we can get a better look. Raw geometry, it pops out and is not quite what you would expect, but this is when you have something that is completely free of distortion. So if you need to do a base relief on a coin and have the edges of the coin be completely undistorted and sharp, that is what you would use raw geometry for. So a number of settings. You can do this with multiple models at the same time, right? If I go and add another asset from a file, let's go with this Johannes guy again. And then this, there we go.
Man.
We can generate
Johannes Brahms, the famous musician, actually.
Yeah, we can actually generate multiple base reliefs with multiple models at the same time. They can overlap. They can be brought under and in front of each other and things like that. So the sky's the limit when it comes to making base reliefs in Relief Maker. And hopefully that was a reasonable overview. I didn't catch the chat. We got a bunch of new chats. Anything interesting going on in there?
Are there tools to create a height map from a photo? That I'm not sure. I would imagine there is.
I believe there are. Yeah, not part of Relief Maker.
It's not that easy, though. I should tell you guys, right? Because So having doubled in machine vision in my master's degree, you're not, photos have this distortions based on perspective, and the lighting can really also add another distortion, right? The angle of the lighting, because it creates shadows that go a certain way. So trying to get a height map off of a picture is not very easy, right? There are tools out there, as Adam Joseph said, that will do a reasonable job, but they're not, they're not bulletproof. They need a good picture to start with, or else they're not very reliable.
I would say if you're just looking to do something like a lithophane, you could probably put it through Photoshop or GIMP or something like that, or just any kind of black and white filter. I would mess around with different values to get something you want and try to import that, because as Joseph pointed out, it's just black and white, different levels of black and white that is your height map, and see how that works. And if you're just looking to get something kind of like a lithophane, that might get you where you're going.
I think it's also worth pointing out Relief Maker has a YouTube channel.
There you go.
And we have one interesting video. I can't demo this live.
Looks like we have Steve back, by the way.
Oh, okay,
did we lose Steve?
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, that is an interesting video, actually. It's a very interesting video. Yeah.
In fact, it's if we go to the beginning here, there's some boats and whatnot, but I wonder how that Greek flag got there. I don't know.
There you go. Boats, sailing, Mediterranean Sea. There you go.
So this was a height map that was exported out of Relief Maker, and Relief Maker has really good quality height map exports with multiple options. And so we stuck this on a UV in another CAD platform. It's like MolidWorks or something, I'm not sure. And then we were able to get
it's called.
Yeah, a curved base relief on a curved surface. So depending on what software you're using, it's really handy and probably worth showing.
Okay, now you just gave me an idea for a YouTube video for ALIBRE.
I can't wait to see it. When Costa says he has an idea, we got to take that seriously.
Yeah. Because I think I know how to get to the same result from a UV map from Relief Maker with ALIBRE. It does go through Blender, but I think the result will be the same. So let's see.
Can you guys hear me now?
We can.
Yes. Now we
can.
I think I better make sure that you've got your voice, and then I'll give you the presenter status. Again, guys, check the link in the description of this on YouTube. There's a link if you want to join us live, share your screen, talk with us with your voice. So it's not just the comments.
I was going to ask a question. What's the what format does this software output? Great. Is that like a STL? Is it something else?
Yeah, so when we go to export relief, we have an OBJ as a 3D mesh. We have STL, PFM. I'm not as familiar with that one. But then you have PNG if you want to make a height map, and then a TIFF file. And I'm not sure what multiple is, just something. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Awesome.
I think it's probably you can do an STL and an OBJ at the same time or something like that.
Nice. Do you have any other questions about Relief Maker or ALIBRE?
Where can people get Relief Maker?
Yes, that's actually the golden question. Reliefmaker.com. Right there. And then try it free, pricing.
And it's very reasonably priced, actually, right? Because I have a couple of clients that are in the woodworking business, right? I repaired I repaired the CNC router for one, and I made one for another one, right? And making large ornamental, like wood, wood. What is it called? Like ornamental sheets of wood. Yeah, but that veneers, right? So they make a veneer that they put on a large wall or investment or whatever, and these things cost a lot of money, a whole lot of money, and it's really difficult because most of the time the customer comes and he says, "I wanted to show this and that," right? And it's definitely a lot easier, getting a picture and using those tools that we just said are not very reliable, but they will cut, the making time of that height map by quite a bit. And then just put it in there. You get your relief. You export as an STL, and you're importing CAM, and you start cutting. That's not trivial, guys. Right? That is very, very helpful, especially if we're talking about parts that take a couple of days to fully cut and then cost like 5,000 euros or dollars or whatever. This is very reasonably priced if you can do this.
Absolutely. Well, do we have any other questions?
Is there anything you guys think ALIBRE cannot do so we can do it live on stream here?
You're putting yourself on the spot right there.
There you go. You either go big or go home, right?
I think certainly in my experience, the limitation is on the operator, not necessarily the software.
Yeah, but you know what? That's true for most parametric CAD systems, isn't it? Yeah.
How you use the tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, I'm not seeing anything new. I think we got to everything. So, let us know in the comments. I had to make a custom overlay, so I have to put this on here, of course. Next stream, February 26th, and we're going to have a very special guest, Chris from EasyCam is going to come on and answer EasyCam and CNC questions as well. So I just got confirmation from him yesterday. We're going to be looking forward to that.
We do have another question here.
Yes, I love next questions.
It says, it appears wrap can only be applied to cylinders. Actually, no. And Joseph has an amazing video on how to get true 3D textures on surfaces in ALIBRE. It is almost magical to watch it, right? To see how he does it. And it does involve wrap and project and all that. But no, it can be applied to other types of surfaces. The limitation, I think, is that it cannot be applied to more than one surfaces at the same time. And correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. But that's the only limitation. If it is a continuous surface, it will be able to do it.
Interesting. Let's take a look at that. All right, guys. Now, Costas, I have to ask, I'm having a hard time remembering which video you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Again, this is proof, people, that Joseph has forgotten more about ALIBRE than what we collectively know. But there you go. Yeah, so it's on the official ALIBRE channel, right? And I think it's called 3D Textures or something.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That might be good to pull up.
2 methods to make a 3D texture on a complex surface. Amazing video. Guys, that's like, it's not even a tutorial. That's just entertainment right there.
So in some cases, we can see a wrap can go across certain faces after you select one. And I think we can remove material as well.
Oh, there you go.
So let's play with it, because I've also had times when I've had trouble with it. It may be worth taking a look at grabbing this sketch and going into project. And it looks like project works as well. Project is my favorite because it matches the sketch exactly. And
so I was wrong then. There you go. Yeah, ALIBRE is even better than I thought it was.
Yes, so to avoid you guys watching me model stuff for half an hour, I will pull up YouTube here.
So DH, the same guy that asked the question, he says that he tried it on an hourglass shape and it didn't work. So I would look at perhaps the format more than anything else of that. Was it an imported STL? Was it if it somehow was a single surface, could that maybe throw it off? But you can see right here in this video that there are some pretty interesting things going on, right? This is one of the best videos on the ALIBRE channel, for me at least, right?
Yeah, it looks like here I took a surfacing approach, and
so that's one.
That's not like you, Joseph.
I'm going to become a walking trope of surfaces here.
You're the surface king, man. Surface king, and we all know that.
Well, thank you. In this case, I think I extrude through it. I use the surfaces to trim to get that thing. And
that was the one method, but you did show another one with there. You showed two methods there, but yeah, that's a really good one actually. Just a simple extrude and then trim it with surfaces. That's a yes, there you've used the wrap feature.
Absolutely. So on this side, they're all going in the same direction. So if you're injection molding or something like that, you want all those faces up and down. If you have
that's what you said in the video as well.
Oh yeah. If you have more flexibility, I think I did a thickened surface over here, and as it thickens, it gets normal to the surface. So yeah, check this video out, I guess, and you can see all the little details of me sketching, which is probably really boring.
It's not. It's you grab your coffee and you spend like 10 minutes watching magic, right? That's it. It's just, and you can see one of my videos over there in the corner as well. I tried to do a texture. It's a really stupid way to get a texture going, but it works and it's reliable, but it's just really stupid. So,
well, I don't know.
My version, I mean, right? But to get back to DH's question, if you tried it on an hourglass shape and it didn't work, it probably has to do with the actual. Was it a surface? Did you import a surface and made it into a solid or something like that? Lofts sometimes don't play well with these tools. So you can definitely get an hourglass shape with a revolve, right? Who's that guy? There you go. He needs to cut his hair.
Here's the thing with this video. You have a consistent hexagon pattern that is not distorted. And so if you want to go distortion free, that is the method. And for that reason, I'm going to say it's not stupid.
And so what I do in that video, right, is I make a global parameters file and I drive a solid 3D model, and I also drive with the same file, I drive a sheet metal model, right? Now, the sheet metal model, you can Boolean intersect it with a hex pattern, and then you have a hex sheet metal part, right? And then you go in and you do a second Boolean and you Boolean unite it with your solid. And what you get is the pattern curving and following the 3D solid, right? But the problem there is you're constrained to the shapes that you can make with sheet metal, right? You can have large curves, you can have all that, but it's not a universal solution like Joseph said's video. But it is a out of the box solution, if you like. So it might get you out of a bind, you know, at some cases. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of drapes it. It kind of drapes it on the shape. Yeah.
The beauty of CAD is there's probably 10 different ways to solve the same problem, and you get to choose what's best for your needs.
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of textures, and especially if you have something that wraps around 180 degrees, that method is the way to go, because you can't really do it with the surfacing method at all. I've not seen any more questions in the chat. I think it might be it for this time.
Just a shameless plug here, guys. Don't forget to keep an eye out for V29 coming here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
And
New
check out the ALIBRE forum.
Check out. And there's another nice plug.
If we're doing shameless plugs, man, I love this CAD
Oh,
workshop.
Well, I appreciate the shout out.
Okay, so guys, you can actually design these models. So what Adam has done in this website, right, is you click on, design it. I'm short-sighted. I'm sorry. You click on Make It, and you get a 2D drawing and a timer, right? You get this 2D drawing, and you get a timer. And you make it in 3D, and you can compete against other users who made it like the quickest, which is amazing because you get to see where you stand against other users and all that. And the problem with this is that the majority of users that have made these models use Onshape, which is a disgrace. Yeah. Most of them should be with ALIBRE, so let's get on there.
So if you look at the Stats for Nerds page, you can see where we stand here. I'm looking, eventually I'm going to add like a second place and third place and all that, but that needs me, I need to go in and change the Python code and all that. But little sneak peek here, guys. If you want to tab over, we have a little sneak peek, and this is one that's going to go up here pretty soon. And this the last couple parts on the website were actually made by Joseph up there himself. So there's a couple parts official by ALIBRE. So I'm thankful for that.
I need to send you a couple of parts as well.
All right, yeah. I'll send you over my my template there, Costas.
I have you've done that already, but I'm so swamped.
No, man, you take your time.
Yeah.
So, everybody, you've been fantastic.
We're grateful for all you folks.
Any other last second questions? I think we're good though. Any other last second questions?
Yeah. It just says, DH says it was a 3D shape that he created. DH, let's do this. If you have access to the forums, just make a thread over there, upload the file, and one of us or one of the thousands other fantastic members is going to jump in and help you with that. And we'll definitely figure this out, even if we couldn't during this live stream. So thank you to all the fantastic people that joined, from me as well.
Thank you, everybody.
Really as always.
You.
And we will see you in the next live stream, and bring all of your CNC and EasyCam questions. We'll see you then.
There you go.
Bye, everybody.